Why was Goku vs. Freeza so long in the Dragon Ball Z anime? Coming in with a whopping 19 episodes, this fight is the longest battle in anime history and it still holds the title. Almost 26 years from the original air day in Japan, Goku vs. Freeza is still remembered by many for its ridiculous dragging and how it was only supposed to be a set amount of time until, well, the 4 hours and 60 minutes were up. The amount of padding in these episodes were so ridiculous and kind of repetitive with how it was being portrayed. They really wanted to stretch this out as long as possible, right? Or so it seems. Believe it or not, the reason for Goku vs. Frieza being so long wasn't because they could make more money. No. A lot of it was due to what was actually going on in the manga at the time and Toei's pacing, which many fans don't pay a lot of attention to. So what are the details and how did this actually come to be? Well, that's what I'll be telling you guys in this video. My name is Ninja and let's dive into a Dragon Ball breakdown. As is the case with many shonen series, the manga adaptation usually has to be ahead to give the anime team more time to plan everything out. If the manga and the anime are nearly at the same position, then the anime might accidentally end up ahead of the manga in terms of story progression, which is not really a good thing. The manga should be out first, as not only do you have something to base your animation art style off of, albeit the manga panels, but also so there's not a chaotic mess and more time is given to the producers. This is why for certain anime that got really close to the manga adaptation, the producers decided on A. Filler, B. Longer openings and endings, C. A recap, or D. All of the above in some cases. Now, with Dragon Ball Super, the anime can be ahead of the manga due to the fact that it was always kind of ahead to begin with, and it's essentially Toei's work, not Toyotaro's. They can pretty much do whatever they want with it, and if anything, the manga adaptation that Toyotaro does is more or less just his vision of the series while still keeping the basic premises of arcs. So now that we have that out of the way, let's rewind back to 1991. In 1991, Akira Toriyama was working on the Freeza saga in the manga, and so was Toei in the anime, with the anime adaptation. Now, keep in mind both series are being released weekly in Japan. At the beginning of Goku vs. Frieza, which, by the way, I'm starting from the very beginning of the fight after Vegeta died, it was January 28th, 1991 in the manga. In the anime, it was April 24th, 1991, so that's nearly a 3-month difference right there. And considering how this stuff was being released week to week, it's safe to say that it was going to get really close sometime soon. Now, granted, it wasn't too much of an issue at the beginning of the fight, but it could potentially be something bigger in the future, as there will be certain weeks where there won't be a Shonen Jump weekly. Plus, with the rate that the anime is going, 1 1/3 to 2 chapters per episode was kind of what Toei was working with, and consistently doing that might accidentally be putting them ahead. That's probably not a good idea. Now, to be fair, the manga wasn't exactly short either, spanning 21 chapters from the beginning to the end. That includes interruptions, which is fair considering there were plenty of chapters where it more so focused on the plot rather than the fight. With the average time a person reads a manga chapter compared to the average time a person watches an anime episode, maybe around 2 chapters is a fair time for a full episode. And we already explained that with the 2 chapters per episode incident, the anime might have surpassed the manga sooner or later. Luckily, moments were slowed down and even certain filler was added, like Gohan standing up to Frieza for a bit of time. I actually really like this bit of filler, and heck, it was even kept in Dragon Ball Z Kai, the adaptation that follows the manga of all things. Speaking of which, Kai luckily was able to shorten it to 11 episodes, interruptions included, so it's safe to say that without the classic Toei scheduling and distance from the manga to the anime wasn't so close, it could have been somewhere near this range. For the longest time in this climax of the Freeza saga, they were able to keep the 3-month difference consistent, and thus it was easier to progress things from there. So why was this so long on the manga? It only seemed that way due to the interruptions and other stuff going on, kinda like in the anime. Really though, the overall fight was just a small but decent number of chapters that made it really fun to binge, but not necessarily that fun to watch weekly, at least from what I can tell. So that's been the video for today, breaking down why Goku vs. Frieza was so long in the Dragon Ball Z anime, and a little bit of why it seems so in the manga. What are your guys' thoughts on the whole Goku vs. Frieza fight, the anime adaptation, and this video as a whole? I would like to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed or learned something from this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more future content like this. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and Ninja out. Peace everybody.